just kind of like, I feel like if people are in it, they're going to be here. That's kind of how I feel about them, but I'll record it just to have it just in case for someone that had to work or something. Okay. So first off, obviously, is you have to believe that you can get there, right? You sort of have to like fake it till you make it. Like nobody, like I don't feel like a 6-star number 10 in Canada person. Like I don't. I still feel like this little baby coach that doesn't actually know what's going on most days. Like I don't have a system that just works perfectly. I'm very like all over the map and just kind of go with it every day. So sometimes I feel like people search a long time for this system and they waste a lot of their time. So you just have to somewhere deep down believe that you're going to get to that goal that you want and just go with it. Like just fail forward. That's something that I admire Jen with a lot. She has literally just failed forward. She hasn't wasted a lot of time trying to find that perfect system. She's just tried different things, and if it hasn't worked, no big deal. Let's just go forward. I know I'm going to get to my goal, and if it doesn't happen this week, like guys, she has been so close to diamond so many times, so many weeks, and like I admire her so much because she doesn't let it stop her. She just keeps going, and if someone falls off, well, let's just keep pushing and finding a new person. And she just like tries different stuff all the time. So she believes wholeheartedly that she is going to get there. And she just continues with that confidence. You kind of have to act as if, like she's acting as if she's already a leader. You know, in her posts, she's acting like that. When she's inviting, and I don't mean to just, oh, Jen's like the hero here. I don't mean to do that, but I'm just saying I do see that in her actions. And I think that's why in less than a year or whatever, she's really got to where she wanted to be. So got to that goal. She just thinks positively all the time. Like there's times that she'll message me at midnight and I'll be like, oh my God, if I was her, I think I would just like shoot myself, because she's worked so hard. And she ends the conversation. That is not going to get me down. I am going to get to my goals. Like that positivity and that belief deep down, I think is so important to find. And that does not come naturally to everybody. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have that naturally, because I did not. I did not have that naturally. And that's when you have to find your own personal development. And I think it's easy for me to kind of tell people, well, this is the book I'm reading, and then everyone races out and gets it. And that's awesome, but it might not be what you need. So you really have to think about, okay, where am I struggling? Do I really believe, like for this specific call, do I really believe I'm a leader? Do I really believe I'm going to get to diamond? And if you don't yet, then you really need to work on that confidence piece. And that's the kind of personal development that you need to read. You may not need to read, what am I reading right now? Like the entrepreneurial roller coaster. Like you're probably not there yet, because I sure wasn't there at diamond. Like I wasn't on any roller coaster. I was just trying to get a couple more discount coaches to get me to diamond, right? And I needed confidence in inviting to that. That's where I needed help. I didn't really need to know how to grow a big organization at that point in time. So the belief is really the biggest thing. If you go into this negatively, like thinking, oh, well, this is probably not going to happen, then I'm sure as shit it's not. It's definitely not. But if you go into it with a positive mindset, chances are that's just going to spill onto all your posts and your messages, and it's going to happen. So tip number 1 is always, right, that feel good stuff, like have the belief that you're going to do it. Tip number 2 is be a sponge. Honestly, you guys, I do think that's what set me apart. I did not waste one spare minute that I had that I could multitask business development. I feel that personal development is really important. as long as you are truly narrowing it down to what you need. Like, don't just read a book because everyone else is reading it. Like, here's an example. Mastering Your Mean Girl, I really, really loved it. Stacy and I talked today. She's loving it. She's like, it's just speaking right to her. Megan read it and she messaged me and she's like, I didn't like it. Well, we know Megan has no trouble with confidence. That she has trouble in other areas, but she's confident. And I said to her, why did you read that book? You do not need that book. That was a waste of your time. Of course you didn't like it because it didn't do anything for her. She already has all those skills naturally. So personal development needs to be very personal. Business development right now, in my opinion, like if you have an allotment of time a week for development, right now, business development needs to be a bigger chunk. So narrow down that personal development to what you really, really need, and definitely do it like 15 minutes a day. Do it. And there might be times that you need it more. You know, someone pissed you off, someone quit, you're just getting so many no's. You need that confidence boost. So that's when you need it more. But if you're going good guns, get your business development going, because you're just going to learn so much. And just go to YouTube and watch everything. Like, honestly, I did that 24/7. When I say I listen to all those national wake-up calls, I'm not exaggerating. I listened to all of them. Like, they were constantly playing in my car. They played when I was doing laundry, and I can't multitask my development. Like, I can't send messages and listen. I can't. So it was always had to be like when I was doing my makeup, when I was doing my hair, like that kind of stuff. But honestly, I think that is something that set me apart, because I would just get ideas all the time and I was not afraid to fail forward. I literally didn't overthink it. If an idea struck me, I was like, perfect. I didn't go ask Amy. I didn't go ask anyone on the team if they thought it was a good idea. I just did it. And if it worked, great. If it didn't, I just garbaged it. But I just went ahead and did it. I didn't make it that it was too much work, like didn't waste time thinking about it and producing it. And I mean, if I could take something that was someone else's, you don't know how many documents I just copied and pasted, because I found a website online and I just copied, like Andrea Crowder, I have all her stuff today. When I was making that new coach document, like I had to re-copy and paste because it was coming up her name all the time, because I would just take it. I figured, why would I reinvent a wheel that's already turning perfectly? Why would I do that to myself? Why not just use this information and then share it? So be a sponge, learn from the best. Like, listen to Melanie Mitro, listen to Lindsay Matway, listen to all the people that really speak to you. You know, I tried to find some of those top coaches that I really connected with. Like, obviously not on a personal level, but through their videos, I really connected with them, and I just listened to everything they had. Like, I literally just stalked them, like, in a big way. So, but I do feel like business development really, really helped me. And to be honest, I didn't really start personal development until I was a diamond. So that's why I really think it made a difference. I don't want anyone to think personal development is a waste, because I think I would have gone farther if I would have spent some time on personal development. So I don't want you to stop doing that, but I think there's times when you need it a lot more than others, and you need to be doing the right type for yourself. Like, I can look at you guys right now because I talk to you all personally on a personal level, and I can tell, like, Shelby and Stacy, you do not need the same personal development. I just know that because I know your personalities, right? So for me to suggest one book to all of you would be ridiculous. So I hope that makes sense. Number 3, you got to be proof the product works. You just have to be. You know, I always found if I was having hard times, getting a lot of no's, getting a lot of rejections and objections, if I started to eat cleaner, if I started to work out harder, and I shared that on social media, which meant my results got amped up, my business amped up. There's no question that we are a health and fitness company, and we need to be making positive strides all the time. Don't get off course in your own health. And that can happen easily because you get so into coaching, you forget. All of a sudden that half-hour workout becomes kind of like a 20-minuter because you're not focusing as much and you want to get back to your messages. And it happened to me. So I know that can happen. Or you get just really busy and the meal planning goes off course, and you need to stick to, first and foremost, being a product of that product and showing, being proof, being the role model that it works, because that's what people are joining. First and foremost, that's usually what people are joining. Now, we do have a couple exceptions to the rule, like Shelby and Marie. They came to me because of the business opportunity. Marie had a really great transformation already. Shelby, not really. She really saw the business opportunity. So, but it is a health and fitness company. So we have to be proof the product works. I know for sure when I'm on my game with my health and fitness and showing positive progress, my Success Club numbers are higher, my coach recruits are higher, everything is better. So that's really, really important. Be yourself. Like, as much as I love getting tons of information and ideas from other coaches, I absolutely do. I still need to be myself, because if you're, my first year, I got some coaches, and I kind of say it like that. I got some coaches that really weren't my tribe, and it made for a very difficult time. There's none of them are still coaches because it just didn't work. We didn't connect, and it wasn't really their fault. It was mine, because I wasn't really talking to the right people, and I wasn't necessarily always being myself in my posts. I was kind of pulling ideas from so many different places, and I wasn't maybe making it truthfully my own. So you need to brand you, right? We don't need to sell the 21-day fix. We don't need to sell Shakeology. You need to sell you. That's what you need to do. You need to sell yourself so you're connecting with the right people. And if you're having trouble figuring out how to do that, there's 3 words that I want you to think about. You want to be an influencer. You want to influence people with your posts. How can you influence them and encourage them to do something different with their life? You want to make an impact on them. So you want to help them in some way in your posts, and you 100% want to inspire them and motivate them. That's in your own way, in your own words. Those are the things you want to inspire, you want to help, and you want to motivate. So inspire them to eat healthier with showing your meals. Nikki, your meal pictures lately, your pictures, did you get like a new camera or something? Frick, girl, like, where are these overflowing Shakeologies coming from? They're awesome.
I just found the right spot in the house where the lighting is perfect.
Yeah. It makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, like your food pictures have been amazing. Amazing.
And most of them are non-filtered too. It's just lighting, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it is crazy when you find that right spot in your house. It's good. Anyways, very good pictures. So, there's inspiring, right? Those pictures are inspiring. They're inspiring me to go eat a plate of cauliflower and chicken. Like, wow, that looks good. That must taste amazing. But you're inspiring people to do that because it's a beautiful picture, and it's showing that it looks good, so it probably tastes good, and you're inspiring people to do that. You're helping them with that. You're showing them exactly what they could eat to have a healthy lunch. And you're motivating them just because you're doing it and you're being consistent with it. Every single day we see a nice picture of your meal and you're being consistent. So that's motivating people to do the same thing. And it's you, like you obviously like to cook and you like to take pictures of your food, like you're branding you, right? Like you're going to find maybe some other foodies that are looking for healthy eating tips. And that's going to for me to post every single day, like that would never happen because it would be eggs every single day. So that's really, all of a sudden you're branding yourself, you're being yourself. So you really need to make sure you're being yourself. Focus, always keep your focus on helping people. Don't lose focus of that. This is a quote I heard from Scotty Hobbs a long, long time ago. Your income is a direct reflection of how many people you are helping. And it really is. That's what we do. That's how this starts. If you continuously do that and have that in the forefront of your mind all the time, and not like the money comes later. Like I always laugh at these questions I get about money, because I have I didn't check my pay today. I never have. It's never been about that for me. I mean, it's great. Obviously, it's created a lot of change in my life, but for me, it was about like just helping people get started and helping them get the challenge pack. And, the other stuff was later. It didn't matter. I really, truly focused on how can I help this person get goals, or how can I help this person change their life financially. I was never thinking about my life financially. I was thinking about theirs. I was thinking about helping them. And I think that if you get, and I'm not saying that it's wrong that, we all have goals and they include financial. That's not wrong at all. But if it's in the forefront, it is read in your messages. People can tell you're creating too much urgency and too much pressure, and you're not getting to know them well enough, and you're not like learning about their goals and what would work for them and what wouldn't. You're rushing and pushing along the conversation, and people can feel that. Instinctively they can feel it, and then those are the people that just never talk again, really, right? So always think about helping people. Focus on that. I would really encourage you to always have a dream team list. So a dream team list is different than, there's a really great challenger in my group right now and I think she would be a great coach. That's someone that probably is going to be a coach. If she's already in your challenge group, she's drinking Shakeology and she's participating really well, that's probably fairly, like, it's in your court. You have to invite her, obviously. If you're too scared to invite her, she's not going to know that she could get a discount, but she can probably get on there. Your dream team list are people that you 100% they might not even be in Beachbody right now. They might not even be in a challenge group, but they are people that you think, I would love to work with this person and I think they would be amazing. They're the people that make you have a lot of butterflies thinking about asking. But those are the people that they've been the best coaches of mine. I've always had a dream team list, and I started a new one today. I don't know where it went. I lost it already. I have so many papers around here, but I started a new one today for myself because I had kind of let that go a little bit, and I remember it was always something that I did. So I think that's important. Okay, sorry. Set your own pace. What I want you to think about right now is think about who would be a coach that you would love to have in your downline. So now I want you to switch. I want you to think totally financial. Who would you love to have in your downline? Meaning you're going to collect all of their team cycle bonus. Who would you love right underneath you? So you be that coach. You set that pace. You set goals and you crush them. You be that coach. Because guys, no one is ever going to be as good as you. You will never, ever get a coach underneath you. I mean, it would be very, very like special cases that you will find someone that works harder than you. So think about that. Would you want you underneath you? Is that going to make much impact in your world? because we know the big impact comes from the coaches underneath us, right? The people that we mentor, the people that we help. That's where the big stuff starts happening in your world financially. So think about who you would want in your downline and be her or him. Set the pace. If you're the one, like, I mean, I work damn hard to be the top person on that Success Club board. Now, I got some good competition. You know, Amy, Megan, like I have some great, all of my leaders, Darlene, Megan, obviously, like they're always up there because I set the pace very early on. We get 20s and then it kind of ramps it, right? So set your pace. I'm not telling you what it has to be. It doesn't have to be 20. It doesn't have to be anything. I'm just saying set the pace that you want for your team because they're going to do exactly what you do. If you're not getting Success Club, they're not, because they're not going to see the importance of it. They're just not. Your non-negotiables to get yourself to Diamond by this December 31st. You got to be getting Success Club 5 at the very least. Because if you're not getting Success Club 5, you're not getting those new challengers and you're not ever going to convert. Yes, you will probably get a few coaches here and there, especially if you're brave enough to invite people that aren't in your challenge groups, which I encourage you to do. I encourage you to have that bravery and be fearless about asking people. But truthfully, the best coaches usually start with a program. You know, they're familiar. Now, Shelby, please don't take offense to that because you're the exception here. And it's not impossible. I don't want you to think it's impossible, but usually it's the easiest transition. Now, Shelby is a self-starter. I mean, right from day one, she was on YouTube. So it was very easy for her to learn. But most, like the majority of the world, besides you guys, aren't like that. Like I have how many coaches in my downline, and there's only like the handful of you guys that are self-starters, right? So you need to get more people into your challenge group so they at least know that piece of it. Because if you're starting someone out and they're just getting into a challenge group as a coach at the same time, it's a longer process. So you need to be getting Success Club 5. So you get them in your challenge group, you get them into the culture, and then you transition them into being a coach. So that has to be a non-negotiable, Success Club 5 at the minimum, and running a free group and running a challenge group every single month. To be quite frank with you, my first year, I ran 2 challenge groups a month, every month. I never missed. I don't now. But that first month I did. Okay. You've got to, from now until Christmas, if this is really your goal, you need to put your head down and you just need to work. You need to put your blinders on. Don't get too caught up in all the message threads. Don't get too caught up in trying, far off new things. Like if you can try something new and it's quick to execute, go for it. I think that's awesome. But don't spend too much time recreating like shit. Like I wasted time doing that. Don't. Get your blinders on and focus on your messages. Focus on people. That's what moves you forward. I don't think we need to argue that. We all know that messages and connecting is what is going to get you success. Now, I said to Stacy today, and I think I shared this maybe a little bit on my grind today, but I have sort of implemented a new strategy for my like daily vitals, and I'm not suggesting everyone changes to this. I'm putting it out there if there's people that are they're feeling their vitals are a little bit off, like they're not getting it done and then they're getting discouraged. So with moving, I just was not having the right amount of time every single day. So I switched things up to take one day and go hard at it, like hardcore. So that my day was today. So I started, oh, and by the way, I've dumped Teensy. So I had to go back to the notebook. So whatever. So here, and here. That is how many messages I have sent today. Okay. I've sent them and I have forgot about them. I have not, if they were coming back at me, I have not responded. I have not opened those messages. I have not even looked at them. Tomorrow will be my follow-up. So we all know there's probably 60 messages I sent. Realistically, maybe I'll get 20 back. Like that would be a good day probably. So I will deal with them tomorrow. And how I am positioning myself tomorrow is like this. Hey, Jen, I am so sorry I didn't get back to you yesterday. After I sent your message, I got really busy creating some new meal plans for my brand new accountability group. You know, that the time flies, then Delaney was home and you know what mom life is like. And then I go in and answer whatever question she had or wherever our conversation was, I go about normally. But I plug my accountability group right away. Without being salesy, without asking her to do it, there's nothing there asking her anything, but it plants a seed early. If I think she could be a potential coach, which I think everyone can be a potential coach. So a lot of the times I say, I've been busy creating some new coach training or busy training my coaches. And I'm just planting that seed in my first sentence. And I'm also planting the connecting seed. You know what mom life is like. I got busy and, then the day was over. So one day I go hard at it. Like I just message like a boss. And then tomorrow it will be, and I mean, it's hard not to answer because you can see some of them. Yeah, I'm interested in the refresh. How much? And I want to go back and say, oh my God, here's the link, but I don't. I just don't, because being able to go back that next day and say something like new coach training or new meal plan is like very valuable because it plugs it plants a seed right away, especially to those hey girl messages that really can take fucking years to make anything happen, right? Like you can talk about their trips and their kids and their dogs and they're moving and oh my God, and you think, oh wow, when is this ever going to transition to me being able to say something here? It feels like forever. So I have found this was an easy way to start it. Like not everyone comes back and says, oh, a meal plan, but a lot of people do. They come back and like, oh my gosh, you make meal plans? And then it just generically starts into the conversation. Like it started. So that's just a tip for, head down, blinders on, lots of messages. I'm trying to figure out easy ways for people to get that done because I'm telling you, if you're only sending 3 messages and you're sad you're not getting any back, I'm not sad for you. 3 is not enough. Like, I'm sorry. Like my inbox overfloweth every single freaking day. I just message like a boss and always have. I'm not a good inviter. I have said that publicly many times. So that means I have to message more people. I have to connect more. If you're a good inviter, then just figure out your magic invitation number. Like if you are that kind of, like Megan is completely opposite from me. She invites it. She's confident with it. She doesn't care. She invites. And that's awesome. I've tried it. It's not comfortable for me. It's just not.
So Michelle, so you're saying, because I've kind of done both. So you're saying Megan just sort of right out there, right from the starting gate, just invites them and doesn't have that long of a conversation, whereas you're doing a lot more conversation first and then bringing up the...
I would say I do a lot more conversation first. She's not spammy. I know you're not saying that, but yeah. Not in the first, she gets to know people. She certainly does. Like, how many kids do you have? But she is not afraid to say, right away, what are your health and fitness goals? She'll say, I've got 4 kids. I don't have time to beat around the bush. If we're talking, I'm a coach. Like, she's very frank about that, where I'm a little bit more like, let's talk about the weather for a few minutes. Let's like get to know each other. Like it's never been that comfortable for me. I'm way more comfortable actually inviting to coaching than I am the challenge. And I think it stems from me being very overweight. It all stems from that. She was never. So she maybe doesn't feel the insecurity around it as I do. I would be very offended if Megan 3 years ago said, do you have any health and fitness goals? My immediate reaction would be, this little skinny girl is calling me fat, and I do not like her. And I obviously love Megan, but that would be where my brain would go. 3 years ago, I had no confidence. Well, let's say 10 years ago when I was super heavy, like at my heaviest, if someone had said that to me, oh God, like that would have crushed me for a long time. So I'm pretty sensitive to that, probably way oversensitive. Like, not everyone is like me. Not everyone takes things so serious. Not everyone is so insecure, and neither am I anymore. But I think I probably overthink that a little bit. I hope you guys don't. I hope you have more confidence than me. But that's probably what it stems from. So I do kind of do a song and dance a little bit before. So this has helped me a little bit to plant that seed right away, because it's not calling anyone big. It's not anything to do with them, really. It's just telling them what about my day, like why it took me so long to get back to them. So it's, I've just been doing it for a couple weeks. If anything, it just helps me with my day a little bit more. Especially now, I have a lot of other stuff I have to do. So like, my inbox is always full of messages from coaches, and I'm doing coach calls and, all that stuff, which I love. And for me, that's the part I love. So I could do that all day, all night, all week, all month, and never invite. But that's one of my points here, is you can never stop working your own business. And I fell into that a little bit. Probably when I hit 2-star, I started leading more than I was being a coach, like more than I was like building my own business. And that got me into a little bit of trouble for a couple months, because my like flow stopped, right? My funnel was not full because I led a little bit too much. So that's really important too. You don't have to worry about it right now, but once you get to diamond and beyond, especially depending on how many working coaches you have, like, you sometimes can have one working coach that takes a lot of your time, right? So you have to really, really make sure that you have that 80-20 rule. 80% is got to be in the messenger doing your own thing, and 20% is leading. And that's why I have message threads, and that's why I've implemented all of that kind of stuff. So right now, if you just have 1 or 2 coaches and you don't want to have it just doesn't feel right, your own message thread, like there's not enough action, bring them into ours. But eventually, once you've got 4 or 5 coaches that are working, you want to have your own, because things get missed in ours. The more people, the more stuff that gets missed, right? So, but you have to really, like, if you really want to get there by December, you really got to get your head down and probably double dose your messages. And like, this is like the last push time of the year. So to make it all flow, it takes a little bit of time to transition people to, becoming emerald and just becoming a coach sometimes, finding those working ones that are going to fit. So okay, so for me, I find it really easy to split up my month. So the first 2 weeks, I really, in my posts, in my messages, just in my brain, I think about challenge group. I think about getting challengers, connecting with people that would want to be in my challenge group. And the last 2 weeks, I think push to coaching, like inviting to coaching, talking about coaching more in my posts, sprinkling it in all the time. And I really focus on that. So I kind of split up my month a little bit that way. So right now, not that I ever put the challenge group away. I still always talk about it, but I'm really in the forefront looking for people that I would want on my team, reaching out to maybe people that I've talked to months ago. Like I probably wouldn't have had time to talk to them a couple weeks ago because I was so focused on getting my Success Club number. You know, I really like to be at 20, like for sure by now. So I just like to get that out of the way. And then at the end of my month, for me now, it's helping you guys get there. So it's really focused on helping you guys get to Success Club, but also filling my gap of getting, I always like to get 4 new coaches a month. Like that's really my number is I try to get 4 new a month. So that's what I do the last couple of weeks. I think one really, really important thing is to clearly define your pusher, meaning what is your big, huge, audacious goal? Like not your little piddly goal. I mean, what is your big goal that you don't even want to tell anybody? Write it down and make sure you can always see it, because you're going to have to go there. When you start going bigger, when you start sending out more messages, you just automatically get more no's, you get more objections, you get more of all of that stuff too, right? So you need to keep that big goal in front of you. Like, why do you want this to work? Like, Jessie, why do you want to be 5-star? Like, really, you don't have to tell me, but really think about that big, huge, scary, hairy, crazy goal. Like, I never, ever admitted to anyone the first year that every time I was cutting someone's hair, I dreamt about the day I got to tell them that I was closing. Honestly, every time they were talking to me, like, all I could think in my head was like, oh my God, someday I'm going to tell you I'm closing this shop and I'm never cutting your hair again. Like, it was like ringing through my head all the time. And that, I didn't tell Terry that. Like, I was still bullshitting everybody saying, oh God, I'll never not do this. I love it too. And inside I'm like, fuck, shoot me now. I'm going to stab everyone in this building. And so that's what kept me going. Like, even though I came home after working 12 hours on my feet, I then continued to put in a whole day on my computer. I did not like go to bed until midnight, then up again at 4:30, but it was because that was there. Like, I just was not going to stop until I got there. Like, I just didn't. And if I didn't have that big, huge goal, what would I really have to work for? Like, oh, you know, if I could pay for my groceries this week, that would be great. Like, that's not going to get you to diamond. You got to have that big goal. And I mean, like I said, I didn't tell Terry. It was way beyond me being diamond. Like, it actually, when I finally admitted it to people, it happened really fast because I was closer to being there than what I waited so long to tell people what I really wanted. Like, I want to retire Terry first. Well, no, I really didn't. I wanted to retire me. Like, I wanted to get out of there. But I kind of kept putting those other things ahead because I was fearful of telling anyone the truth. So, but I always had it. Like, that was always the goal. And it was the thing. It was the thing that pushed me. It really, really did. So be clear on that with yourself. I don't mean you have to go like tell your husband or tell anybody. Just make sure you have it in yourself, that big, huge goal that will make you work. If you can think about going diamond, I think sometimes people really overthink diamond. They think of it as really scary, right? If you can just think about diamond like going emerald, times 2, times 2, times 2. Like, that's really all it is, right? You get 2 coaches, then you get 2 more, then you get 2 more. And, you know, somewhere along the line, one of them's your husband, so you get 2 coaches for him. And then you really just need to find one person that wants to work the business. Like, truthfully, that's how I got to diamond. But you have to keep doing it so you keep that diamond. You just have to continuously get 2 coaches. And that's really how I thought about it. Okay, this challenge group, I'm going to find 2 coaches. Okay, this challenge group, I'm going to find 2 coaches. And it was definitely built on the discount. And if you get these people into your culture, How many times have I said, my discount coaches are my leaders? They become that. So don't be nervous. Like, I know some people will say to me, but if I make them a coach, I'm not going to get that income. Well, let me tell you, I'm pretty glad I offered Megan that discount. She's making me a lot more than a bag of Shakeology, PV. Right? Like, I'm pretty glad I got her into my culture. I'm pretty glad I was brave enough to put her into the team page. Yeah, it was scary at the time. I kind of thought, oh gosh, she's probably going to think we're crazy. But boy, you never know. You just never know what's going on in someone's head. Like, nobody that I was cutting their hair a year ago thought I was going anywhere, right? They didn't know really how unhappy I was. So you don't know what offering that discount to someone can do for them, and putting them in the team page and hearing the energy and getting the motivation and just seeing like a totally different culture. Because it really is like, normal life is not like Beachbody life. Like, nobody gets this much motivation in a normal day and hears about personal development and health and wellness. Like, it's not normal. Like, it's so normal to us now because it's just our life. Our news feed is filled with it. We get to talk on the message thread and it's all positive and everybody's like, yes, go for it, Jessie. Yes, do it. Like, that's not real life, or it wasn't for me. So once people get in there, it becomes really contagious, right? And you just never know when it's going to strike. Nikki's perfect example. Like, she signed up for the discount and then I didn't hear from that girl for like a year. I really didn't. I would reach out, but like, I just knew this is not what she wants. I don't know what she's doing, but it's all good. And then one day she messaged me and she was ready. And now look at her. So you just never, ever know. So having a diamond business built on discount coaches is not a bad thing. Don't feel like that's a bad deal. You do need to find one person that's going to work it. But if you have your husband or whatever, mom or sister or whatever on one side, you can build them and make them your other emerald. So, sorry. Yep, go ahead.
So, because I have the boyfriend as a coach, and that's fine. So, like, when my discount coaches started going on, they just go left, right, left, right, left, right, and they're getting put under him. But should I now start like logging in under him and sending out like enrollments to people, or am I just doing the left, right, and building him up? Like, I'm not actually logging in under him, sending out enrollments so it goes saying, you know, like, Jesse's trying to sign you, like, whatever. Am I the one that's constantly sending them out and I'm just going left, right, and then it's going to build him up?
No. It's not going to build him up. I want you to get your 8 coaches under you first.
Okay.
So get that done. Don't enroll anyone under Jesse. Is Jesse? Jesse? Mm-hmm. Yeah. When the time comes that you've got your 8 coaches and you've got a coach that you feel like, well, when you've got your 8 coaches, I'll know. But then what we will do is your next 2 people, and you want them to be discount. You just want them to be discount coaches. All you have to do is a coach change, and you can do that through the mobile enrollment. So you don't even have to, like, all I usually say to people is, okay, I sent you the information. Now it's going to say Terry's your coach. And I usually make a joke. Honestly, you do not want him as a coach. Like, he'd be having you eat pizza all day. Like, you don't want him. Don't worry. I just put all my VIP members under my husband's business center. And I don't say any more than that because I made a joke about it. They're just laughing about the pizza. They could care less. So we'll deal with that at the time. But you just want to get your 4 and 4 if you feel good about someone. So if you have a feeling that they are going to be a worker, you want to get them opposite of Jesse. Okay, so you want to make sure. Like, I just tell people, go every other, unless you really know someone is going to be a working coach, then make sure they're on the opposite side. And Jen will attest to that. Poor Jen is actually a diamond, but she just has 2 emeralds on one side. But,
damn.
But whatever, she'll be a strong diamond, so it's no big deal. It is what it is, right, Jen? And she's just one coach away, or did that person sign up yet?
I haven't checked my messages yet tonight, so I don't know if she read all the messages from last night. She has the link, so I don't know if she did or not.
So hopefully next week.
We'll see.
Okay. So really, I guess my point of that is like, don't make it bigger than it really is. Because it's not really that, like when you break it down, it's like not that bad, you know? Like if you're getting some good challengers and you're sharing the value of Shakeology in your challenge group, really getting them loving it. Like, I mean, here's a good story. I signed this lady as a challenger a couple months ago, huge isogenics woman, like told me there's just no way in hell she's going to try Shakeology ever. But she loved Beachbody On Demand. And I really loved her. Like instinctively, I knew someday, she's going to be a coach. Like she is. I don't know how I'm going to make this happen, but I want to make it happen. So Beachbody On Demand, got her into the challenge group. Megan and I do these Zoom calls, and one of our calls is about Shakeology. She came on it. I was like, perfect, that we're going to get her. So she wanted Shakeology all of a sudden. She wanted it. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm really going to have to work hard because I know that isogenics tastes like a milkshake. And I know Shakeology does not for a long time. So I kind of prepped her for that. And she's like, you know what? I don't even care. Shakeology has all that stuff in it. Like, I just need that stuff. Hated Shakeology. Hated it. She hated it. I gave her so many recipes. And I mean, she was legitimately trying to love it. Like, I've never seen someone try to like it so much. And then finally she was like, she felt so bad. I'm sorry, Michelle. I just don't like it. So I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, it's not a big deal. You certainly got an E for effort here, lady. Like, you tried. And then 2 weeks later, I posted like a daily challenge. What's your favorite side effect of Shakeology? And all of a sudden she posted, her cravings are gone. And she put like a wink. So I messaged her. I'm like, are you just shitting us? Like, you're just shitting me, right? Like, you just said that to answer the challenge. She goes, no, I knew you would message me. After we talked the last time, I just kept trying different recipes, and now I love it. So that, like, I could have just said, to hell with her. Like, she's an isogenics lady, forget it. But I, like, you know, you just never know. You just never, ever, ever know what is going to happen. So don't like discount anyone. And now, of course, she wants the discount. So she thinks she's too busy to coach and she couldn't coach. That's fine. Whatever. Get the discount. You'll be coaching in a while. Like, I just feel like she will be. But that's kind of how that can happen, right? Like, if you just share the value of it, that's why she even tried it. Like, she had no intention. So if you're really comfortable with Shakeology and confident, you really should be able to get a couple discount coaches or VIP. I like to call them VIP members. I said that to Shelby today. It just sounds a little bit nicer than discount coaches. But okay, so don't overthink it too much. Like, just don't overthink it. You don't have to be telling them coach basics when they sign up. Like, just ease. A lot of people just need to be eased into it. Like, they just really are doing it for some extra support, and then you never know what's going to happen. There's my last page here. I mean, obviously, I don't think I need to tell you guys, you have to invite. Like you have to be doing that part. You just have to be brave. You have to be fearless, especially if this is your goal. You have to be talking to more people. You have to be asking them. You just have to. Like, I pretty much ask anyone on Shakeology if they want to coach. I really do. Like, I bring it up to most people, even the quiet people in my challenge groups, even people that I just see posting in my support group all the time. I bring it up in a funny way. I just like, oh my God, you just support everyone and motivate them. You should be doing what I do. Ha ha ha. Like, I really, really do. I always use that kind of humor. And they usually ha 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 back, But then lo and behold, a couple weeks later, they might ask a question or they comment on a coaching post that I do. And then I can message them again and say, oh, you looked at that, did you? And make another joke. And, you know, I always, like, I've never been like a great inviter, like a full on inviter, but I always use humor with it. But it's a form of inviting, I guess. It's my form of inviting. You have to be sharing. You have to be doing those coach posts. Like Sunday night at 8:30, 9 o'clock, your post needs to be about coaching. It really does. Like, do challenge group posts all week for all I care. But Sunday night, you really need, like, if you want a good recipe, I would say once on Tuesday and once on Thursday, you should have a post that sort of breadcrumbs coaching. So a jab, like a coaching jab. Do a couple of those a week. So it's not like this full out invite, but it's a jab about coaching. Like, why has coaching made your life better? Why have things changed because you became a coach? So it doesn't have to always be financial. It can be your mindset. It can be the accountability. It can be that you got to go to your kids' play, like whatever it is, breadcrumb it in. But Sunday night needs to be like a real good, legit post about coaching, inviting people to join the team, basically. That's the time that everybody is online in our sort of, everybody, really. Sunday night is the night. It's the high time. It doesn't matter what professional I listen to, that's what they always say. Sunday night is the time. Once you do get some coaches, working coaches, and you're trying to get that emerald on that other side, incentives work really well. They really, really do. It can be, you could use me, like an incentive for a meeting with me if you didn't want to do anything financial. But I mean, people will do anything for a tank top. My God, like even a tank top you buy at Old Navy, people will like cut their arm off for these things. It's insane. So like little things like that, I did do a lot of that to try and get those couple emeralds. And once I was diamond, I was trying to build even more. And the incentives really, really do work. Everybody, or most people, have a little competitive spirit. They really, truly do. And that's why you see all the Success Club leaderboards and all that stuff, because it really fuels a lot of people. That's really all I have. Like, I mean, it all boils down to what you want to put into it. The more you put into it, the chance of you getting there is really high. Like, there's like zero reason why all of you can't be diamond coaches by December. That's 100%. Like, you could get, I mean, I was watching a couple of videos today and I couldn't believe, like, one lady got there in 37 days. I mean, it literally was that she just asked everybody. She just really asked everybody. She just had no fear. Fear is the thing that holds us back. It always is. It's held me back. Like, sometimes I'm so mad at myself for not reaching out to more people 2 years ago. Maybe who knows what would have happened. But it's the fear that always holds us back. And that's the end. I did hear this. I think this was actually on the Beachbody Champions page. And I thought this isn't necessarily about being diamond. It's really just about how we don't want to be salespeople. So it kind of covers the fear. We never want to be salespeople. And how she worded it was, if you wait until the end of the month to hit Success Club, that's a salesperson, because all you're worried about is those points. It didn't mean anything to you on the beginning of the month. You didn't just share it every single day consistently. A consistent person, like a shares person, which we want to be, like, share this with people, does it every day. It doesn't matter if they get the point or if they don't get the point. They're just doing it every day consistently. It's just part of their life every single day. A salesperson is who waits till the very end, the last couple days, and just like doesn't really give a shit. They just care about the points. Now, I know that there's months that you are doing it every day and it's still the last of the month and you're hustling. I know that there's months like that. Absolutely. But, it's the consistency of doing that stuff every day. At the end of the day, consistency will trump everything that I said. Like, that is what you have to be. And if you can't get that down pat, that's why you're going to fail at getting at that goal, because it's the consistency of everyday activities that will get you there. It's nothing magic. It's nothing different. There's no secret. It's not hard. It's just that consistent behavior every single day. And I 100% never have missed a day. I just haven't. Mic drop. That's all I got. Okay, questions. Does anybody have any?
I had thought of one while you were talking, and now it's gone. I can't even think of what it was.
I'm actually curious what you guys say. I get a lot of people who I start a conversation with, and the first thing they'll say to me is, oh my God, you're so motivational. I wish I just had half of your energy. And, it's so hard to lead into something else further with them. So I'm like, oh, you can, you just, because it's so much about choices, right? Like, every single person you want to do this, they have to choose to do this, right? And I know that. We all know that. I'm trying to talk to them about, you can, you just, all you need is 30 minutes a day. That's it. Like, you can find 30 minutes. You just, just trying to, what do you guys say? Do you guys get that? What do you say to people who tell you?
I've started, and it works sometimes, but I've started with a little bit of tough love. Mm-hmm. And I've been saying to people lately, if you're waiting for that perfect time, sorry, it's not coming. And then I say to them, if you're waiting for the motivation, it's also not coming. And so, like, I did get one at the beginning, and I said, the perfect time is now. Like, if you're going to do it, you just do it. And then the motivation comes because you start feeling better. And she's like, oh my God, you're so right. I just got to do this. So I've kind of added in a little bit of like what I think is tough love. And then sometimes I'm even like, I might have gone too far. But I'm just saying, and then I'll say, I'm just giving you, I'm just telling you the truth. I
try to get, like, I'm big on the tough love. Like, I go into my challenge groups, and those girls, like, they don't say nothing to me all day long. I can post 6 times, I can go live, I can do 100 things in that group, and not a single person. I can see they've all looked, because it tells you who's seen it. So I'll go in and I'll be like, okay, am I doing this for no reason? Does nobody need me? You guys are good? Like, I'm not being rude, but I'm saying, if you guys got this covered, you don't need me. And then they're like, oh no, sorry, it's just been a busy day, kind of thing, right? So I'm big on the tough love. But I've been trying to get to know people more before I administer the tough love, because sometimes I find some people just don't like it. Like, they get really offended by the fact that I've literally said to them, suck it up, buttercup. This is what you've got to do. And I was like Michelle in that sense, had, if someone would have invited me right away, I would have thought they were calling me fat. So I try to avoid, like, I really try to get to know someone first. And that's where I get stuck in my rut, because it just seems like it goes on, and we're talking about the same things over and over and over and over. And then I just, it almost feels like a stalemate, like a checkmate or whatever it is, where you're like, okay, so
are you
doing this now? Like, what, like, it's hard to bring it back in after you've had this conversation for so long. They've been watching, they've been commenting. And then you say, so, are you interested? Oh, I don't even have anywhere near that kind of motivation.
I usually use feel, felt, found.
Yeah.
So I go back and say, oh my God, I felt exactly the same way as you did. I looked at other people that were getting to their goals, and I didn't think I ever could. And then I realized that motivation was never, ever going to come knocking at my door. I wasn't going to get motivated until I saw some results. I just had to find some grit, and I just had to start. And then after a couple weeks, what I found was I had I lost 5 pounds, and that made me so excited. Then I was motivated to keep going.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And I was using that before, and it just totally, I forgot all about it.
If you can remember in all your conversations, like, I used to have it written on top of my computer, Feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found, because I would use it all the time. Every objection, feel, felt, found. And it just seems to work really well with people. You know, you don't go too deep into your story because then they know. But if you kind of like just a couple sentences, and that motivation thing, like I talk about that pretty much every live call I do, live video on my page. Because everybody's, oh, when I get motivated, I'm going to start. Well, honey, it is not coming ever. You're never, ever going to start. Like, you don't get motivated until you see results. So you just have to
And I'll say to them, I'm not always motivated. Believe me, you really think I want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and sweat for 40 minutes? Like, you think that's my idea of something fun to do? No. You know, like, we have that conversation. They're like, I know, it's just, I like to sleep, or, you know, and you just know they're not ready. So
something else, Nikki, is to start answering those objections in your posts. So maybe do a post like, because I do this a lot, because the people will say to me, well, you love to exercise. No, I hate exercise. Like, I hate it.
Yeah.
No, I love not to be fat is what I love. So no, I don't like to exercise, but the yin and the yang, like, this is what I have to do to get there. So I will post about that all the time. Like, I did not want to get up today. I 100% did not want to do this, but I also don't want to ever weigh 213 pounds again. And I know this is what I have to do to be there. So answering objections in your posts is sometimes a lot easier than trying to convince them in the message.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Because sometimes they do look at us like, oh, there she is. She just finished another sweaty selfie. So they start thinking like we're just like these exercise people. Well, we're not, or I'm sure as heck not. I would rather someone think, yep, she had to lug herself out of bed again and put those runners on, and because then they can relate to us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so any objection that I get, and I used to be really good at this, I would like write every objection on the piece of paper that I would get, and I would literally do a post about every single one of them. And I would just pretend that person that had sent that message to me was going to read it. Like I will have, especially in my live videos, I do this, and I will usually have that person say, oh my God, I feel like you're talking right to me. And like inside, I'm like, I am. Like, I actually am talking to you. But it's quite funny because usually what happens is if we've just been messaging, I come up in their thread right away, right? So they see the live video for sure. And I've had that happen like 3 or 4 times. It just happened yesterday, actually. It was really funny because as I'm talking, she's like, oh my God, I feel like you're talking just to me. Pretty much.
That's why all of my posts are so much of excuses, because that's all I get. Like, I don't have time, or I don't have the motivation, or whatever. And I mean, I did a follow-up today with a friend of mine, and she had done Insanity and whatever, like way back. And she's like, yeah, I want to try the Shakeology, but I want to get the whole package. So I want to wait till I move. Well, she moved. So I'm like, oh, like just checking to see if you want to be in my challenge group. Like, love to have you, blah, 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 spit and all that stuff. And then she's like, oh, I think I'm going to pass because, like, I know I just don't have the time for it, and I know I'm not going to do it. I'm like, okay, well, like, that's fine. If you're not ready for it, that's cool. But, like, you were still interested in the Shakeology. You can get it by yourself. Is that something that you want to try? And then she's like, well, no, I'm going to pass on the shakes because I would rather do it with the workout and get results. Well, how the friggin' hell does that make any damn sense? I don't get it. You don't want to do the workouts because you don't. And I literally wrote in the message, I'm like, some people just don't have 30 minutes a day to like give them to themselves. Like, some people just don't have it. And I'm like typing it out. I'm like, I sound like a fucking idiot, but like, this is stupid. But like, it made no sense. So I don't know if maybe like I didn't dig deep enough into that, or like she says that she knows she's not going to commit to it, which is fine, but then doesn't want to do the shakes because she'd rather do them together. But she does, like, it was like a circle. So I didn't know if like maybe I just kind of blew that and like I should have dug deep it like more into it, or
You know what, Shelby? I was kind of that person. Like when I was working out and doing the shakes right away, like in the beginning, I wanted them together. I'm always a package person. Give me everything and I'll succeed kind of person, right? And then as soon as one thing falls off, slowly the other thing falls off, and then you go straight down the hill, right? So I totally get what she's like. It's just an excuse. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's totally an excuse. But in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I can't do this until I've got all these ducks in a row, and then I'm going to go full force and I'm going to rock it, right? And that's what I think she's probably thinking in her head. And we all know that that works for this long, and then it doesn't work anymore, right? But
and like she's in my support group and she obviously sees everything and whatever, but like she does not comment, she does not like, she does not like do anything. Like she's very seldom on Facebook, like she doesn't like any of my stuff, so I don't even know if she's seeing anything. And like she's very, very seldom on her phone. So like she's very like a closed knit person. So the only time I really talk to her is like once or twice a month, because that's how long it takes for her to answer my messages.
You mean there's people out there that don't hold on to their phone all the time?
Yeah, like there's people who don't live on the phone and like kill their data every month. Like, what is this? Like, who doesn't live like that?
Geez, we don't need her. No.
I would just keep following up with her. I mean, in the conversation, if you want to be forceful, you would say, well, you know, why can't you commit? Like, why are, you know, asking them why back, like literally just, okay, so why can't you commit? Why wouldn't you want to do, like, I mean, that if you want to use some force, that would be what you would come back with. But I would just follow. She's probably just not ready. Like she's just not ready, and it won't really matter what you say to her. She's just not ready. That doesn't, she's gonna be eventually. She clearly has an interest in it. It's just not right now, right? Yeah. It's someone on your follow up, and just keep checking in with her. And
I mean, like, and I talk to her all the time just about like, and I didn't even like mention it to her. She had originally brought up the shakes to me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's the type of person, like, she just needs to keep seeing you, you know, clearer skin, happier, like just you being you, right? Like I'm sure your friends notice a huge difference in you, right? Just your personality and everything. And the more they see of that, they're going to want it too. It just takes a while. Okay, guys. So I can't believe that it's 10 after 10. My God. Okay. Any other questions or thoughts? It doesn't have to be a question. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to have like 7 diamonds on the team by Christmas. This is awesome.
Michelle, I'm having total deja vu. I think it was October when we did the push to diamond last year, and I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. And then I just totally gone. So not this time. Not
this time.
Ready. I need ready. Like I'm actually in here ready. So
you know,
I'm excited.
You can say it all you want, not you, but anybody.
It's true. I'm like that. I say it in my head, and then I think, well, I can sleep that extra hour. No, or I get bummed out and things change. So no.
Like there was a switch in Jen, like it was like 2 months ago, and it was like, okay, because I really didn't, not that I didn't think Jen would be a diamond. I didn't think that, but there was just this like, I don't know. It was like in one message, I'm like, holy shit, she's actually going to do this. It's that belief. It's just like, I am doing it and nothing is going to ever stand in my way. Yeah.
What happens when you drink Energize 3 times a day?
How many do you buy a month? Like how many?
That's your brain.
You must buy like 3, because I can burn through 1 in 3 weeks. So like I'm always like waiting, anticipating for that one. I'm like drinking out of the actual thing for my last workout. The next one's coming, because I'm like, holy crap. So you must buy 2. Do you buy 2?
Well, when I was getting it in the beginning, I wasn't consistent with it. And so then I had built up a few, and then, Yeah,
that's me in Focus or Tower Greens. I got about 4 of them under the cupboard. Anybody want some?
I always have so much Energize here. Oh my God. I think I somehow at one point in time I had like 3 come at once. Probably I had to stay active or something. And so I've always got tons of it, but I usually have it twice, sometimes 3 times a day. I love it.
I just drink coffee and way too much of it.
I do that too. Oh my God.
Well, that's how you live off 4 hours of sleep, Michelle. Good for you. There's the trick, guys.
Here's the trick: Energize. And back in the day, it was E&E. It wasn't Energize. It was called E&E. Did anyone else remember that? That stuff apparently had some bad stuff in it too. So not early. Okay. Good night.
Good night. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.